Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Hobart, where we strive to put love in the center of how we show up in the world. I'm Barb Langle, and I participate in the church by serving on ministries, and I was on the board. I don't do that much anymore. You know, this whole body's getting worn out. But welcome to you, old friends and new, young and old. You are an essential part of our 1000th Sunday in our midst. We are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved, just as you are. You are all welcome. Today, our worship service will be led by our new minister, Reverend Cathy Harrington. Since not everyone can attend in person, we are streaming the service online. And we extend a special welcome to all those joining us virtually. The joys and sorrows portion of our service, however, is private, and we will temporarily pause the stream for that. Other than that, this worship service is being recorded and will be available for future viewing on our website. Another way that we walk together is by joining together in fun and fellowship. I have a few announcements. First of all, make sure you check your upcoming weekly email for anything that's coming up. If you don't get it, fill out the visitors form in the parish hall, and we'll make sure you get one. And another thing, next week is water service. So everybody, please bring some water from your favorite place. I get mine out of my yard and my, what do you call it? Yeah. And you just need an ounce. But bring some to share. Bocce Ball is coming. Join us for our 3rd annual Farrow Family Bocce Ball Church fundraiser. Saturday, October 4th, with a rain date of Sunday, October 5th. If you can roll a ball, you can play bocce ball.
Don't keep yourself. My arm's still not right.
Sign up as a team or a single, and we will find you a partner. This year, we will feature an Oktoberfest theme menu and drinks. I don't know what that means. It's $25 per person for bocce and $25 to eat. If you bring someone from outside of the church, then it's $20 per person. Fundraiser will be at the house in Ground Point. Fundraiser starts at 1:30 p.m. Later arrivals will play later in the tournament. Come have some fun with your friends and raise some money for the church. Contact Michelle or Tracy with any questions. And right now, the Faith in Action Ministry is collecting diapers, collecting size 4 and up all through September until October 12th for the Hobart Emergency Diaper Pantry. We will gather here at 2 p.m. on Sunday, October 12th, with other churches to bag the diapers. This is being sponsored from the Brickies. The ministry fair is Sunday, September 14th after service. Come join us for some games, snacks, and learn about each ministry in the church. Next month on Friday, September 19th at 6, Explorers Club will be starting a new journey after our exploration of world religions. We will begin reading and discussing the Cathedral of the World, a Universalist theology, a collection of writings by Unitarian Universalist minister, theologians, and author. If you are interested in gathering for an evening of discussion and discovery, with snacks, of course, Please see Sandy Waters for more information. Also, on Friday, September 26th, a movie night. You're not paranoid if they're really after you film group. That's a rough one. We'll be watching the 1940 John Ford film of John Steinbeck's novel, The Grapes of Wrath. And of course, our rummage sale is the last weekend of the month, and we will need help. You can start bringing anything in now, but we will need help the whole week before that, and then help cleaning up afterwards. Now please take a moment to greet your neighbors by waving your hands and letting your smile's warmth bridge the distance between you. Say hello to someone you don't know. Please turn off or silence your devices. Please be respectful. Turn off or silence your devices. As you do so, allow yourself to enter sacred time together. And take a deep breath. And another. And join in the spirit of reverence.
Good morning. It's good to be together again. Each week during our Sunday service, we join in reciting the words of affirmation of faith printed in your order of service and on the screen. Please join me in reciting these words. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament. Service is its prayer. And this is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. It suggests the transformations that take place when we are held within religious unity. When we light the chalice in worship, we illuminate a world that we feel called upon to serve with love and a sense of justice. On this Sunday before Labor Day, we light this flame to honor all work. Not only the work we do for pay with our hands, our backs, and our minds, that is important, but also the work we do for love. Please join me in lighting our chalice by reading the words on the screen and in your order of service. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together.
Unitarian Universalism is a covenantal faith. We do not have a creed. Instead, we commit to walk together in the spirit of mutual love, abiding by the promises to which this congregation has democratically agreed creating and revising our congregational covenant. So each week, we reaffirm together a portion of that congregational covenant. I will read I have three, and please respond with this. For all the ways that we have dwelled together in peace, we are grateful when we have fallen short. For all the ways that we have sought the truth in love, we celebrate, and we have not been our best selves. May we forgive ourselves and each other and begin again in love. For all the ways that we have helped one another, we give thanks. When we could have been better and more helpful,
The invocation this morning, I'm using two of my colleagues, Maureen Caloran and Tanya Marquez. We are called today from the midst of our pain and challenge. We are called today to praise the world. From a world that appears broken, we are called to praise life's moments of joy and grace. The world is too fragile. There is too much pain. Let us bring our hearts together on this day, and let us praise the mutilated world in all its blessing and its pain. It is now, too, when we are called as witnesses of the world, to mend it, to change its course, to restore it. It is now when we are called to act on our values, not to hide, not to fear, but to be bold and loud. It is now that we are called to continue our fight for justice, to organize and to speak up. It is now. Let us gather and let us give each other courage. Come, let us worship together. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing hymn number 128, For All That Is Our Life. The story this morning is called Stella Luna, one of my very favorite books. It's by Janelle Cannon. In a warm and sultry grew, and soon the nest became crowded. And Mama Bird told them it was time to learn to fly. One by one, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stella Luna jumped from the nest. Their wings worked. I'm just like them, said Stella Luna. I can fly too. Pip, Flitter, and Flap landed gracefully on the branch, and Stella Luna tried to do the same. How embarrassing. I will fly all day, Stella Luna told herself. Then no one will see how clumsy I am. And so the next day, Pip, Flitter, and Flap and Stella Luna went flying far from home. They flew for hours, exercising their wings. The sun was setting, warned Flitter. We better go home or we will get lost in the dark, said Flap. But Stella Luna had flown far ahead and was nowhere to be seen. And the three anxious birds had to go home without her. All alone, Stella Luna flew and flew until her wings ached, and she dropped into a tree. I promised not to hang by her feet, so she hung by her thumbs and soon fell asleep. She didn't hear the sound of soft wings coming near. Hey, a loud voice said, why are you hanging upside down? Stella Luna opened her eyes and she saw the most peculiar face. I'm not upside down, you are, said Stella Luna. Ah, but you're a bat. Bats hang by their feet. You're hanging by your... I'm a bat. I am hanging by my feet, and that makes me right side up. Stella Luna was confused. Mama Bird told me I was upside down. She said I was wrong. Wrong for a bird, maybe, but not for a bat. More bats gathered around to see the strange young bat who behaved like a bird. And Stella Luna told them her story. You ate bugs, stuttered one. You slept at night, gasped another. How very strange, they all murmured. Wait, let me look at this child. A bat pushed through the crowd. An owl attacked you? She asked, sniffing Stella Luna's fur, she whispered, you are Stella Luna. You are my baby. You escaped the owl? Cried Stella Luna. You survived? Yes, Mother Bat said as she wrapped her wings around Stella Luna. Come with me. I'll show you where to find the most delicious fruit. You'll never have to eat another bug as long as you live. But it's nighttime, Stella Luna squeaked. We can't fly in the dark. We'll crash into the trees. We're bats. We can see in the darkness. Come with us. Oh, Stella Luna was afraid, but she let go of the tree and dropped into the deep blue sky, and she could see. She felt as though the rays of light shone from her eyes. She was able to see everything in her path. And soon the bats found a mango tree, and Stella Luna ate as much fruit as she could hold. Oh, I'll never eat another bug as long as I live, as she said. I must tell Pip, Flitter, and Flap. So the next day she went to visit the birds. Come with me and meet my bat family, said Stella Luna. Okay, let's go, said Pip. They hang by their feet and they fly at night and they eat the best food in the world, Stella Luna explained to the birds on the way. And as the birds flew among the bats, Flap said, I feel upside down here. So the birds hung by their feet. Wait until dark, Stella Luna said. We'll fly at night. When night came, Stella Luna flew away, and Pip, Flitter, and Flap leapt from the tree to follow her. I can't see a thing. Neither can I. Oh, they're going to crash. I must rescue them, said Stella Luna. And she swooped and grabbed her friends in the air and lifted them to the tree. Stella Luna hung from the limb above. We're safe. I wish you could see in the dark, too. We wish you could land on your feet. Flitter. They perched in the darkness, in the silence for a long time. How can we be so different and feel so much alike, mused Flitter. And how can we feel so different and be so much alike, wondered Pip. I think this is quite a mystery, Flip chirped. I agree, said Stella Luna. But we're friends, and that's a fact. And that's the story.
Each month, we have a different charity which we collect for. Donations in the baskets go to sustaining the mission of our congregation, and donations in the cups this month go to support the worthy work of Aaron's Farm. Aaron's Farm is a nonprofit animal sanctuary and rescue located in Hobart. The farm functions as an all-animal sanctuary, educational farm, and forever home for animals in need. We are collecting for them for the month of August. This will be the last week. We are collecting items in the parish hall as well. There's a list out there. For those of us not in person today, there's an online link for both one-time and regular donations. Now, would 4 volunteers come forward to carry baskets and cups? For your prayers, your presence, your gifts, and your service, we are truly grateful.
In the center of our service and in the center of our lives, let us pause to honor the silences of the world. Let us open our hearts to the place of quiet, to the silent prayer for the healing of pain, and the soft, gentle coming of love. This morning, I want to call our attention to yet another school shooting in Minnesota. I don't know about you, but my heart broke again and again after all these shootings. And so this morning, I'd like to have, like for us to do a litany, because we cannot grow numb to these shootings because they are so common. We need to fight back. But we also need to prepare ourselves by taking the time to grieve and honor that pain. So as I read this litany, We Grieve Together by the Reverend Caitlin Cotter Kohlberg, please respond with, We grieve together. As the news brings us terror and heartbreak again, we grieve together. As each of us faces into this new level of horror, we grieve together. As we remember other moments of pain and fear and loss, we grieve together. Yearning for an end to violence and suffering, we grieve together. Yearning for a true peace where all feel safe and whole, we grieve together. Yearning for greater justice, compassion, and wisdom, we grieve together. In the shadow of violence, we find comfort and courage in each other. We grieve together. In the shadow of violence, we remember we are all connected in love. We grieve together. In the shadow of violence, we recommit to working for a better world. We agree together. I invite you now to come forward and light a candle of memory or hope, or just sit quietly as the music holds us in a sacred space.
You are now invited to share a private joy or sorrow, to hold them together so that the lightness of our joys lifts us all up is easier to bear. Carla will come along with the mic. Please say your name and your joy or sorrow, a brief.
Hi, I'm Rosalind, for those of you who don't know.
silent sanctuaries of our hearts, may we continue to weave the fabric of this community into ever more beautiful patterns. The breath of nature is upon us, the spirit of life is within us, and the community of love is around us. May it be so. Please join me and remain seated in singing hymn number 155, Circle Round for Freedom. That's perfect timing. This is Stacy. Our reading today is How to Survive an Apocalypse by Sean Dennison. First, learn to listen, not only for enemies around corners and hidden places, but for the faint footsteps of hope and the whisper of resistance. Hone your skills, aim your heart towards kindness, and stockpile second chances. Under the weight of destruction, we will need the strong shelter of forgiveness and the deeper wells that give the sweet water of welcome. We have a place for you. When the world ends, we must not add destruction to destruction, not accept a beggar's bargain, to fight death with more death, no. In order to survive the apocalypse, any apocalypse at all, we have to give up the counterfeit currency of self-sufficiency, the mistaken addiction to competition, the lie that the last to die has somehow survived. So this morning I want to talk to you a little bit about our new principles. The 7 principles were adopted. They were revised several times, but this had been 38 years since the principles had been revised, which is also known as Article 2. So, and a lot of people didn't realize that our 7 principles were actually a covenant, not a statement of belief, a covenant to affirm and promote. So the UUA board directed the Commission on Appraisal to center love in our commitment to personal, institutional, and cultural change, rooted in anti-oppression, anti-racism, and multicultural values and practices. So our revision was voted on last June in Baltimore at the General Assembly, and it was adopted. So I just want to go briefly a little bit about the history of how our principles and purposes have evolved, which demonstrates exactly why we call ourselves the living tradition. So in 1887, a statement of faith was written by William Channing Gannett for the 1887 meeting of the Western Unitarian Conference. And it went sort of like this: we believe that to love the good and to live the good is the supreme thing in religion. We hold reason and conscience to be the final authorities in matters of religious belief. We honor the Bible and all inspiring scripture, old and new. Remember, this was 1887. We revere Jesus and the holy souls that have taught men truth, righteousness, and love as prophets of religion. We believe in the growing nobility of man, and we trust the unfolding universe as beautiful, beneficent, unchanging order, and to know this order is truth, to obey it is right and liberty and stronger life. We believe that good and evil invariably carry their own recompense, no good thing being failure and no evil thing success, that heaven and hell are states of being, that no evil can befall the good man in either life or death, and that all things work together for the victory of the good, and so on. So you can see how much we've changed since 1887. And the original principles of the Unitarian Universalist Association, after the Unitarians and the Universalists consolidated in 1961, it also has been revised. And the language changed quite a lot. In accordance with these corporate purposes, the members of the Unitarian Universalist Association, dedicated to the principles of a free faith, unite in seeking to strengthen one another in our free and disciplined search for truth and meaning, to cherish and spread the universal truths taught by the great prophets and teachers in humanity in every age and tradition, to affirm, defend, and promote the supreme worth of every human personality, the dignity of men, and the use of the democratic method in human relations, to implement our vision of one world by striving for a world community founded on the ideals of brotherhood, justice, peace, and to serve the needs of member churches and fellowships, and so forth. So in 1884, this version was revised in response to the sexism of the words in 1961. And it was modified again in 1995. I'm not sure if our principles are written on your order of service, but they are in the front of your in front of your hymnal, the gray hymnal. I'll just go through them quickly. The member congregations of the Unitarian and Universalist Association covenant to affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our community, within our congregations and society at large, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all, and respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. And then they also added the sources, which are also listed in your order of service. So the newly adopted Article 2 is now a new response to our finally acknowledging the reality of systemic racism and white supremacy. The UUA board directed the commission to center love as our personal commitment to personal, institutional, and cultural change, rooted in anti-oppression, anti-racism, and multiculturalism. So now we have the values and covenants. This is what I want you, the slides will show you what our new values and covenants. I love this, actually, with love at the center. This is the new Article 2. And within the Article 2, all of the principles are woven, and also our values as well. So love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. So I'm going to start over. As Unitarian Universalists, we covenant congregation to congregation and through our association to support and assist one another in our ministries. We draw from the heritages of freedom, reason, hope, and courage, building on the foundation of love. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our values through spiritual discipline of love. inseparable from one another, these shared values are. The next slide. Okay, sorry. I forgot I had that up there. Okay. Next slide. Okay. Interdependence. We honor the interdependent web of all existence. We covenant to cherish Earth and all beings by creating and nurturing relationships of care and respect. With humility and reverence, we acknowledge our place in the great web of life, and we work to repair harm and damaged relationships. Pluralism. We celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. We covenant to learn from one another in our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. Justice. We work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where we all thrive. We covenant to dismantle racism and all forms of systemic oppression. We support the use of inclusive democratic processes to make decisions. Transformation. We adapt to the changing world. We covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Openness to change is fundamental to our Unitarian and Universalist heritages, never complete and never perfect. Generosity. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality and equity. We declare that every person has the right to flourish with inherent dignity and worthiness. We covenant to use our time, wisdom, attention, and money to build and sustain fully accessible and inclusive communities. As Unitarian Universalists, we use and are inspired by our sacred and secular understandings that help us to live into our values. We respect the histories, the contexts, and the cultures in which they were created and are currently practiced. These sources ground us and sustain us in ordinary, difficult, and joyful times. I'm grateful for our religious ancestors that we inherited and the diversity which enriches our faith. We are called to ever deepen and expand our wisdom. These values pull out a lot of concepts: justice, equity, pluralism, and together they strike a strong note, and it's intentional. It represents where we strive to be as an association. Next slide. There, let's just leave that one up. Does that keep the people from home from seeing the? Okay, oh, wonderful. As Reverend Deborah Hafner said, the current version of our principles never uses, the past version of our principles never uses the word love. She said, Unitarian Universalism are reimagining ourselves as the religion centers itself around love. And wouldn't that make a great elevator speech? We are the religion that centers love in everything we do. James Ishmael Ford, in a sermon 2022, said, "What do you say after you run out of sermons on love?" He was right when he predicted that the proposed Article 2 would not pass at the 2023 General Assembly. And some of the pushback was that people say it's a creed. Some people thought it was too spiritual. Others say it's too vague. Love is a complicated word. It invites interpretation. It calls to several parts of our human heart, sometimes contradictory. Ford says, love, so complicated, so messy, so easy to simply be maudlin. So hard to lean into the harsh and dreadful parts of love. And yet, here's a vision. Here's a vision of our new Unitarian Universalism that we hope to strive for. A statement that challenges that we might on occasion offend, that seeps back into your mind, that keeps it all a process. Love is the enduring force that holds us together. We get some unpacking with this, the pluralism, independence, evolution, justice, generosity, peace, respecting views of others. But foundational to all of it is love. They say that every minister has but one sermon in them, and they repeat it over and over again. I thought mine was hope. And when I told that to a congregant a few years back, she said, "Oh no, I think it's love." I think that's why I love the graphic of our proposed values with love at the center. Our faith tradition has many stories of forebearers being led by love. Susan B. Anthony, oh my goodness, look at the remarkable love of Jane Addams. Jane Addams not only created a location for people in the Hull House neighborhood of Chicago to receive help and support, she worked tirelessly to change social, legal, economic, and political systems that oppress the lives of immigrants. She advocated for child labor laws, effective garbage pickup, better conditions for factory workers, and so many other causes. She was a regular attendee and lecturer at the Unitarian Church and the Ethical Society in Chicago, but retained her membership in the Presbyterian Church. I am deeply inspired by her. And I spoke to you last week about Hans Deutsch in World War II. Susan Frederick Gray wrote about him in an essay called Embracing the Ethic of Love, when, that he was hired to create a symbol for the work that our New Service Committee was doing by helping people escape Nazi persecution. So Hans Deutsch was an Austrian refugee artist, and he created our flaming chalice. It was a symbol, he thought, that evoked the ideas of sacrifice and love. And we have lots of different interpretations of the flaming chalice, warmth of community, flame of hope. But it is more. Unitarian Universalist Siege Shikari expresses the significance of our chalice as a clarion. The symbol of our religion is the symbol of Nazi resistance and a safe passage for refugees. It is a symbol for the power of love. Gray wrote in her essay, "In the face of evil, in the face of policies, rhetoric, and violence that dehumanize, denigrate, divide, and destroy, our flaming chalice is a symbol of resistance. It is a symbol of courage, of power, of risk, and truth. The cup is a symbol of compassion, hospitality, refuge, and mutual aid." Let that sink in. Our chalice is a symbol of resistance. As Gray wrote, "Could there be a more striking symbol for our faith and our values and practices that we need in this time, in these times?" We are indeed in difficult times. I was going to talk to you a little more about some stories about love, but I'm going to just move on. Reverend Viola Abbott wrote these words for the promise and the practice. "We are Unitarian Universalists. When we lift up our 7 principles, our new values, some of us think of them as a form of theology, but they are more important to our collective than that. They do not tell us what we should believe, they tell us how we should be. They tell us how we should act in the larger world and with each other. We are brought here today by the fact that Unitarian Universalism may have fallen short of the image that was presented to the world and to many who embraced our religion. We are also brought here today by the truth that Unitarian Universalism has shifted course to move towards a place of wholeness, a place that perhaps never existed for us as a denomination. It has been a long and sometimes unforgiving road to today, but we are here today, mindful of the past, and because we have hope for the future, we want the practice of our faith to be a fulfilling manifestation of that promise. So I invite you to open your hearts. Think of our symbol, our flaming chalice, our Unitarian Universalist faith as it truly is, centered in love, and at times that means resistance. Open your heart to imagine how Unitarian Universalism might be most impacted by Article 2, by centering everything that we do in love. May it be so. Amen. Blessed be. Oh, we have a hymn to sing. I don't remember what it is. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing hymn number 131, Love Will Guide Us, of course.
Look what's up there.
Love will guide us. Okay, it's in your hymn, though. I'm sorry, it's not up here. It's not up there. Please remain standing as we just extinguish the chalice and for our doxology. Now join me in reciting the words on the screen or in the order of service for extinguishing the chalice. May we continue to carry in our hearts the light of truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment, until we are together again. Now the doxology. In the fellowship hall after the postlude for fellowship and conversation and refreshments, and I will be out there if you want to talk more about Article 2. If you have concerns or if you have thoughts, I would love for you to share them with me. So these words are by Jan Phillips, At the Wake of the Old Way. We are attendants at the wake of the old way, and each of us, through our actions, our thoughts, our work, and relationships, is midwifing a new world into existence. And when we come to our days with this awareness, when we fully waken to this privilege, this tremendous privilege, and when we sense the oak in the acorn of our beings, then we will have the energy to move mountains and shift the tides. With this as our charge, and with the courage that we gather together in this community built on love, may we travel into our world renewed with hope. May it be so. Amen.
don't you give up. Keep moving on, keep moving on. Lift up your eyes, up your eyes. Don't you despair, don't you despair. Look up ahead. The path is there, the path is there. Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? Oh my Lord, what shall I do? I'm gonna put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love.
You rock, Jeremy.